So, do you know that moment when you send a picture of your tear, like a gigantic tear, to the friend you're buddy reading with, and you're like, I am destroyed? And they're like, what the fuck? What are you reading? I'm not reading the same book as you are. Yeah, that was my experience. Yeah. Hello, beautiful bookworms. My name is Katerina, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing something that I should have done a long time ago, but I am late to the party, but I don't really care because I have to do an in-depth review of this. Oh my god, I love this book. Jesus. Okay, spoilers. I love this book. Go away now. It's said. It's done. So as you can see for the title of this video, obviously, I'm going to be doing a review for The Invisible Life of ADDIE LARUE by V.E. Schwab. And yes, I know, you're going to say, bitch, that came out last year. It's been a fucking while. Everyone knows what that is about. Why are you reviewing that? We get it. You love it. Yada yada. Move on. But no, if I have to talk about this. I want to talk about this. Just let me live, okay? So I am going to give you a brief synopsis of this, then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my non-spoilery thoughts, and then I'm just going to do a little tiny bit in-depth thingy because I need to, I must do it. I have to talk about this. So The Invisible Life of ADDIE LARUE tells the story of this girl, Addie, and she, in a moment of despair, does a deal with the darkness. Let's just call it that. And that deal has repercussions throughout the entirety of her life, and one of the repercussions is that she is forgotten by every single person that she meets. And I am not going to summarize this any further for you because I think the only thing that I can say that is not a spoiler because it's in the back of the book is that one day she will meet someone, the very single one person that will remember her. And this is such an incredible book. I love V. Schwab, which you can see. I have some of her books there. I want more of her books. And when I say there, I say in the first row. I don't know why my finger isn't pointing there. There. Okay, doesn't matter. I really love her writing style. I think that she does such different things with her characters and with her stories, and I am always looking forward to the things that she will put out. I am very interested in actually reading, I've read City of Ghosts, and she now has out the next two and the last two of that trilogy, and I want to read them. That's a middle grade. This one is very, very different of the entirety of her writing style. She normally writes fantasy, sort of, with maybe a little bit of historical sometimes, but not always. This is completely different of everything that I've read from her. This is not a fantasy story, it's not an historical story, and it's not a romance, but it's like all of them in one, but not really. And it's just so beautiful. It's like an in-depth character study of what it means to be a human being, what it means to live and to create and to search for meaning of your life and to always want to know more. It's beautiful, and I'm just gonna say it here. I think that you should read it if you haven't had a chance. I do think that this book is not for everyone. I know that I loved it, and for me it was a transcendental experience. I cried. I easily cry in books when they tell me something, but it's not always that they do tell me something, so that means that for me it was a good book and it was a good writing. As I said, I don't really believe in ratings, but I know they're important, and since I have a Goodreads, I have rated this 5 stars, which I thought about it. I thought about giving it 4 stars, but in the end, I think it deserved 5 stars for what it made me think about and what provoked in me. And so that's all that I'm going to say, that it's non-spoilers. So if you haven't read this book and you possibly want to read it, read it. I mean, what can I say? I don't even mind if you don't watch the rest of this video, which will get my viewers down, and I don't mind. Read it. It's an absolute amazing experience. So, for those of you that have actually read this or don't care about spoilers, which that's fine, I will not castrate you in that way, let's talk about The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in depth. And the first thing that I wanted to say is what I found incredible is that the character that I most felt like wasn't actually Addie LaRue. Although I really love the character of Addie, I think that she is a very stubborn and strong woman, and I love how we have this in literature because, let's face it, sometimes women aren't portrayed that great, but and I think that she can be a bit controversial because, for instance, in the beginning, I understand her needs and why she did the deal and how she didn't want to spend her life in such a small village and being forgotten and not living at all and not having seen anything else and just having kids and dying slowly. But would I made a deal that could potentially be problematic and negative for me and make me suffer even more just because of that? I don't know. It's just in that time, it was very usual for women to live like that. And I'm not saying that was okay. It wasn't. But at the same time, you could just run away or just, I don't know. Her parents didn't seem like that worst people in the universe. Maybe she could tell them, like, I won't go further with this, I will run away. Or maybe she could live with Estelle, and I don't know, she could do so many things. And to do a deal, as I said, I think that she can be a bit controversial because the attitudes that she has are the attitudes of someone that is extremely ambitious. She is not a perfect character, and that's okay. I love flawed characters, but I love her for everything that she stands, and I really enjoy seeing her portrayed like this. However, the character that I identified the most with, and not in a way like I want to be in love with him and I want to like a lover like him or something, but myself, the character that I have felt closest to is Henry Strauss. Henry Strauss is the boy that remembers Addie, and you understand, which I have to say, the plot of this is a little bit, for people that have read a lot of books, which I'm not going to say I've read the most books in the world, but I've read a lot, and it is fairly predictable what is going to happen. I guessed the deal that he made and why, but that's probably because I also feel like that. And I guess the ending of this book, because it was really, really on point and obvious that it's going to be like this, but that does not deter you from actually loving the journey and the book and living with these characters. And as I was saying, Henry for me is the character I identified the most. Everything that he felt, the fact that he feels like he was born too sensitive, the fact that he feels like he can't experience joy in the same way that he experienced sadness, and the fact that sadness, okay, I'm gonna cry, give me a second. The fact that sadness hits him harder than joy, and his conquests, he doesn't really celebrate them, but everything that is bad, it's in his brain all the time, and how he names his dark moments, the storms or the tempests, or it felt like me when I am having anxiety, when I am panicking, when I am sad, and how he's always telling himself like it's going to be okay, it's just a storm, and in the end it's really not, and he's not really okay, and he tells people that he's fine, he wants to be left alone, but it really doesn't, he wants people to be there for him. That's me. That's really me, and we are getting very deep into this, but okay. So when he made his deal because he wanted to feel like he was enough, and that is something that I don't feel at all every single day, and I understand why he would do it, if I would do it, I don't know. We've all had dark times and bad moments, and he's a character that is lost. He doesn't know who he is, what he wants to do with his life, and I like to pretend that I know what I want to do in my life, but in the end, I really don't. I just want to read books and drink hot chocolate. Is that so wrong? So getting out of the depressive state that we're getting in, I felt like the three main characters of this, because Addie is our main character, but I think Henry is also our main character, and I think that the darkness, or Luke, if you want to call him that, is also our main character. V. Schwab accomplished something that I never thought it would be possible, which is me both hating and absolutely adoring the character of Luke. He's just such a good character, and he has his motives and his reasons, but he is always saying what a waste it is that people can do more, be more, and that beautiful things are plucked out. And he says he doesn't ruin beautiful things just for the sake of it. And I think it's incredible how he's supposed to be the darkness. He's supposed to be this ruin. He's supposed to be the character that you say it's inherently bad. And he just deals with people for their souls. And he's right, he's not right. Why is he doing this? And he makes people suffer so they give up their soul easily. But there's something about him. It's not like he doesn't like what he does, because it's what he does, it's what he is. But at the same time, there's something contradictory there, in which you see him and his dynamic with Addie. It's incredible the way that she blames him for everything, when actually she's a bit to blame about it, and how in the end she masterfully just topples him over without him knowing. It's incredible. It's just so great. I have to say that I loved them together, their dynamic, and I also love Addie's dynamic with Henry. Henry doesn't have a lot of dynamics with Luke, which is sad, because I think it could be interesting to explore that dynamic, but at the same time, I think what we had is enough. This is supposed to be Addie's story, the ending of how Henry writes the book and he doesn't want to put his name there. And in the end, when you see that Addie sees the book and she's so happy, and oh my god, I am dying. It's such a great book, and everything in here from beginning to end is just telling you that you should live your life to the fullest, because it's worth it. And it's just amazing. There's this moment when Addie is parting with Henry and he thinks he's going to die, and she tells him that she made a deal for his soul, and she says, "Listen to me, life can feel very long sometimes, but in the end it goes so fast. You better live a good life. I need you to remember." And she also tells him, like, think of it as a thank you for seeing me, for showing me what it's like to be seen. I'm okay. To be loved. Now you get a second chance, but you have to let them see you as you are. You have to find people who see you. And my god, I mean, the power of this. I am crying again. Jesus, why? I am very sensitive. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why I cannot be an audiobook narrator. Like, you can hear it coming through my nose. I am so very sorry. At the end, I think that this book is about living. It's about feeling lost and finding your way. It's about enjoying it and searching for the meaning of your life, searching for your people, searching for something that you can create that will eventually tell you who you are and what you're meant to be. And that what you're meant to be, sometimes it's not the stereotypical thing that humans normally do. I think this is a book about art. I think this is a book about loving your life. despite everything, in spite of all the pain and all the suffering that comes with it. There's also a part, I don't know the quote by heart because I only read this once, which I'm definitely going to reread it, but not right now because I'm destroyed, where Henry asks her, he thinks he's going to die, and he asks Addie if she would do the same deal again, knowing everything that she knows now. And she says yes, because all of the pain, all of the hard situations that she's been through have all been worth it, because the good things always weighed more than the bad ones. And my God. And I think that that's the way that we all should try to live. We all should try to live our mark on someone or something, not in a possessive sort of way, but in a way that we live with each other and for ourselves, and we try to find our people, and we try to live our life and have our experiences and love what we do. And I always said that I wanted to love what I ended up doing with my life. So maybe I should start searching for it instead of just saying that. I don't know. I'm gonna cry again. Shit. So that's my review on The Invisible Life of ADDIE LARUE. I am extremely thankful to V. Schwab for actually writing this. I've seen her Instagram posts, I've seen her talking about this book, and I think that she also understands very well what this feeling that I got reading the book is. I think that she needed to share this story, and I'm happy that she did, because it feels really personal, but it also resonates really well with the people that actually experience these situations. And so for that, I am incredibly grateful that I've got to read this book and that she wrote it. And it's for sure probably one of my favorite books of the year. I have doubts that I can read such an in-depth character study and human study as this one. So I am really happy I got to read it. I wanted to read this sooner, but I was really worried that it wouldn't meet my expectations. It did. It really did. So yeah, that's going to be it for this review because I'm already crying. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you've read it, tell me something in the comments down below. If you haven't, go read it. If you don't want to read it, that's okay. That's fine. I've done my job. If I haven't convinced you, I don't think you will be convinced. So that's okay too. People don't like the same types of books, and that's what makes us interesting. So go live your life to the fullest and read books, find stories, fall in love with your life. Yeah. So that's going to be it for today, and happy readings to you all. Bye.